it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We got in a great viewer question, and that is how to stay no contact when you have exposed a narcissist or a psychopathic individual in your life. Someone who is emotionally manipulative. Someone who has idealized you, devalued you, and discarded you. Or you're in the bargaining stage between that situation where basically they have intermittently given you a positive reinforcement, positive experiences, but yet the emotional manipulation has gotten so tough. The slander campaigns, the negative things that they've said about you, the splitting behavior, the talking about behind your back, the pathological lies, the things that are told to you, others, the children, have gotten so enmeshed and so chaotic and so hectic that you absolutely know that you have to go no contact, that you are dealing with someone who is emotionally manipulative, who operates by emotional dysregulation, who does not have a sense of value, a sense of belonging with others, but operates more out of a sense of pathological self-importance and a lack of empathy that really propels them or gives them a compulsion to do whatever it takes to win or pull one over on individuals. And furthermore, they have this sense of entitlement that keeps them in that stuck state, and furthermore taking advantage of others. So you have now kind of realized that within this individual, and it's not going to be positive for you. It's maybe not positive for the children, it's not positive for your work, and you need to know how to go no contact and how to stay no contact. So realize that it is difficult. It is difficult to let go of an individual who you have envisioned the rest of your life with. It is difficult to go no contact with an individual who you have idealized or over-idealized in your life. Someone who you thought was the answer to your prayers. Basically the best person in your life, perhaps the most closest, someone who you felt you admired, you looked up to. They had a certain talent or a certain expertise that you had found so enriching or that you so admired. And, you had attached onto this person for those very qualities. Maybe you had married this person, or maybe you were engaged to be married, or, you had worked with this individual at a workplace. But you found now that they are trying to discredit you, discredit your work, create false accusations about you, talk about you behind your back, and put forth a mask or a persona which is not real. This is typical behavior of a narcissist or a psychopath, to put on this front and this charm, and they think that is how life is meant to be lived. Eventually, though, it does become worse with time because they constantly have to increase and up their status for their mass. So I know we gotten in a very important viewer question was, why why does it get worse with time? Because they need to maintain it. There's a certain degree of persona maintenance that has to be created. So they have to continue to feed that ego. They have to continue to feed that mass to keep that from cracking, so to speak. So the exposure then is when you see the mask fall, when you see that it's all an act, and you see this shift that all they have been disingenuine the entire time, that they have no true feelings, they have no true attachment, they have no true love, but they have just kept people, objects, and things around in a sort of parasitic way to maintain their situation. So realize that no contact is really the complete acceptance that this individual is who that they are, and you're no longer living in denial. You're no longer believing their lies, and you're no longer making lies for them. You're now seeing them through the eyes of reality, and you're now accepting them and loving them just for who they are and all their damaged or flawed state, being the narcissistic, being the psychopathic individuals, and realizing, that that's who they are, and that you no longer want to have any part of them. That you love them for who they are. They provided our relationship and experience for you during a certain time of your life. However, it's now in your best interest and in their best interest that you let them go. and you let them go without judgment, you let them go without fear, but you are just now disengaging, you are unplugging from that energetic vibration and that influence in your life, because it is no longer healthy, it is no longer in your best interest, and for your happiness and fulfillment cannot coexist with that sort of abuse. Your happiness and fulfillment and your truth cannot coexist with their lies, with their slander, with their insults, with their projection onto you. It cannot exist simultaneously. It does not mix like oil and water. It will not blend. Your energy does not blend with theirs. Furthermore, you don't want it to blend. You want it to be distinct. You want it to be separate. You are defined by yourself, your values, your truth, and your own talents, and furthermore, your own self-expression. That is what defines you, and not how the narcissist defines you, because the narcissist will seek to condition and develop you according to what serves their needs. And a narcissist will furthermore seek to have you basically be an extension of their needs. So they'll try to force you into being a specific way with which you are not. They will fault you for ways that you don't serve them, and that is not your life purpose to serve them. And so a lot of people, I think they get into the habituated state, where a codependent state, where they then feel responsible for this person's happiness. They feel responsible for their evolution. They feel responsible to take care of them. So they take on their life as their own. And it's very important to give their life back to them. It's very important to give their happiness and their responsibility for their happiness and their truth back to them where it belongs, and not be responsible for their evolution to providing all the solutions to their life, and furthermore living as the extension of them, that you have the God-given inalienable right to live according to your spirit, your values, your personal, emotional happiness, joy, and bliss. That is what is meant to guide you. And if your happiness was entangled in feeding their ego, and you have now found that that no longer is the answer to your true happiness, that feeding their ego and feeding their mask and feeding that lie is no longer what is impassioning you. In other words, there it is now, basically you have felt a sense of getting burned by them through their lies. As I say, it's their compulsion to, take advantage of others that basically hurts, and basically the violation of betrayal is what burns. You have to get your inner fire back, your inner life back, your inner truth back, your inner I am back. And so the minute you start to, regress and want to go back and contact them, say, no, that is not the answer. Self-responsibility is the answer. Autonomy is the answer. Industry is the answer. And so, because autonomy, which means being on your own feet and unplugging emotionally from the violator and perpetrator, is so important. To bring your emotions back into your own harnessed state, where you now have reins over your own emotion, and you're no longer giving the reins over to them. It could be habituated, which means you might have done it again and again. It's now you're taking the reins back into your own life. You now have the reins. It's very important. It's like a physical feeling where you have the reins back in your life. Basically, you are now responsible for your happiness, your wholeness, your integrity, your well-being, what you experience, what you are attracted to, what you allow into your inner circle now that you've learned these lessons, that these are people who will take advantage of you, that you're no longer permitting that to occur. You're now declaring your boundaries. You're now seeing through the filter of who you allow back into your life and who you see as actually supportive, nurturing, and validating for you. And furthermore, you easily let go those individuals who are not of empathy and who are not in your best interest. Those violators and perpetrators, you now, as you learn the lessons, you are now able to clearly see them and see through your own eyes versus the eyes of the victim, the eyes of someone who's hurt, the eyes of someone who is abused, you now look through the eyes of perception of self-responsibility, accountability, autonomy, and responsibility for yourself and your own, you take responsibility for your own emotional state 100%. So whether you feel happy is up to you. Whether you feel responsible is up to you. Whether you feel productive is up to you. Whether you feel content is up to you. What you engage in is up to you. The values that you have and the expression of them is up to you. How you spend your time and allocate your time is up to you. How you share your emotions and your feelings is up to you. You no longer are supportive of those who are hurtful of you. And there's a wonderful singer-songwriter that comes to mind. Her name is Jewel. And, she has a statement in one of her songs, I no longer give my strength to that which I wish to be free from. So in other words, you no longer give your strength away to an abuser. If you wish to be free of the slander, the gossip, the negativity, the distraction, you don't give your strength away to those people who will take advantage of it. You pull your strength back and you give your generosity, your affection, your love, your attention, your support that is so valuable. You give that to people who deserve it, not who violate it. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.